Have you ever noticed how certain moments feel different, as if time itself slows down just enough for you to recognize that something important is happening? Not loud, not dramatic, but quietly powerful. This is one of those moments. You didn't arrive here by accident, and you're not listening to these words by coincidence. There is a reason this message found you now, at this precise point in your life, when questions about money, security, purpose, and provision may have been echoing in your heart louder than ever. Something is shifting, and before we go any further, I want you to understand that what you're about to experience isn't about effort, struggle, or long rituals. It's about alignment. It's about 1 minute that can change how the rest of your life unfolds. For so long, you may have believed that wealth comes only through endless labor, sacrifice, or luck. You may have been taught, directly or indirectly, that money is hard to get, that abundance is reserved for others, and that you must somehow prove yourself worthy before it arrives. And yet, deep down, there has always been a quiet knowing inside you that this cannot be the full truth. You've seen people who seem to attract opportunities effortlessly, while others work themselves to exhaustion and still remain stuck. You've wondered why praying harder didn't always lead to better results. And perhaps you've asked, in moments of honesty, why your faith didn't seem to translate into financial peace. Here is the truth that changes everything. Wealth is not attracted by desperation, and abundance is not released through force. It flows through consciousness. It responds to inner agreement. And right now, you are standing at the doorway of a realization that has transformed the lives of countless people who learned how to align their inner world with the infinite supply that already exists. This is not about asking God to do something He has not already done. It's about positioning yourself to receive what has always been available. There is a principle at work in your life, whether you are aware of it or not. Every experience you have, including your financial reality, is first shaped within your subconscious mind. Long before money appears or disappears in your life, a decision has already been made at a deeper level. Beliefs have been planted. Assumptions have been accepted. Words have been repeated so often that they became invisible laws governing your experience. And the subconscious mind, faithful and impartial, simply obeys. Most people spend their lives trying to change results without ever changing the inner cause. They try harder, worry more, pray longer, but they never address the quiet agreement within that says, "This is just how it is for me." And yet, the moment that agreement changes, everything else begins to reorganize. Circumstances shift, opportunities appear, ideas emerge, money finds new pathways into your life, not through strain, but through flow. This is why a single minute can matter more than years of effort. Because when that minute is filled with the right words, spoken from the right awareness, it speaks directly to the subconscious. It bypasses fear, it dissolves resistance, it establishes a new inner law. And once that law is accepted, the outer world must follow. Right now, something important is happening inside you. As you listen, your conscious mind may be analyzing, but your subconscious mind is already listening more deeply than you realize. It is receptive. It is open. It is ready for a new instruction. And this is exactly why this prayer works. Not because of repetition, not because of length, but because of alignment with a spiritual law that never fails. For a moment, let yourself step out of the past. Step out of old disappointments, old stories, old financial identities. You are not defined by what hasn't worked before. You are not bound by what your family struggled with. You are not limited by the economy, the market, or anyone else's beliefs about money. You are a channel for infinite intelligence, and that intelligence knows no shortage. There is an invisible supply that never runs dry. It does not diminish when shared. It does not hesitate when asked. It responds instantly to belief. The only thing that has ever blocked it is the subconscious acceptance of lack. And the beautiful truth is that lack is not a reality. It is a belief. And beliefs can change in an instant. Think about this carefully. Every invention, every business, every fortune, every breakthrough began as an idea. An invisible thought preceded a visible result. The same law applies to you. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you allow. An allowance begins with inner permission. This is why the words you are about to hear are so powerful. They are not begging, they are not pleading, they are not hoping. They are statements of truth spoken in agreement with divine law. They speak to the subconscious in a language it understands. They establish a new pattern, and once that pattern is accepted, money must follow in ways that feel natural, normal, and often surprising. Before we move into the prayer itself, I want you to understand one crucial thing. This is not about convincing God to bless you. God is already the source of all abundance. This is about convincing yourself that you are allowed to receive. The infinite does not withhold. The subconscious sometimes does, and when that changes, everything changes. There is a reason this prayer is short. The subconscious mind responds best to clarity, simplicity, and feeling. Long, complicated requests often activate doubt. Simple, confident declarations activate faith, and faith, when felt, becomes the bridge between the invisible and the visible. As you prepare to receive these words, notice what begins to soften inside you. A sense of ease, a quiet expectation, a subtle relief. That is alignment beginning to happen. That is resistance dissolving. That is the door opening. The prayer you are about to hear is not meant to be rushed, but it is also not meant to be strained. It is meant to be felt. Each sentence is designed to plant a seed of abundance so deeply that it continues to grow long after the words have ended. This is how the subconscious works. Once a seed is accepted, it grows automatically. Now, imagine for a moment what your life would feel like if money was no longer a source of anxiety. Imagine paying bills with ease. Imagine opportunities appearing at the right time. Imagine having more than enough, not just for yourself, but to give, to enjoy, to create. That feeling is not a fantasy, it is a preview, and it begins inside you. Here is the prayer. Divine intelligence within me. I recognize you as the source of all wealth, all supply, and all abundance. I acknowledge that you are infinite, limitless, and eternally giving. Right now, I align my mind with your truth. I release every belief in lack, struggle, and limitation. I let go of old patterns that no longer serve me. I choose a new understanding. I know that prosperity is my natural state. I know that abundance flows to me easily and effortlessly. I accept, right now, that I am worthy of wealth, success, and financial freedom. I no longer resist the good that seeks to express itself through me. I allow money to come to me in expected and unexpected ways. My subconscious mind accepts this truth now. It responds to these words with faith and confidence. It opens every channel necessary for abundance to appear in my life. I am guided to the right ideas, the right actions, and the right opportunities. I am led step by step into greater prosperity. I affirm that my income increases continuously. My financial situation improves every day. I attract favorable circumstances, helpful people, and inspired opportunities. Money comes to me in harmony with divine order, and I use it wisely, joyfully, and with gratitude. I feel gratitude now, deep and genuine, for the wealth that is already on its way to me. I am thankful for the supply that is unfolding in perfect timing. I trust completely in the law of abundance. I know that what I accept in consciousness must appear in form. I rest in this knowing. I am calm. I am confident. I am secure. Divine intelligence is working through me now, rearranging my circumstances, opening doors, and establishing prosperity in my life. I accept this fully. I believe it. I know it is done. As these words settle into you, notice how different you feel. That sense of certainty is not imagination, it is agreement, and agreement is power. When the subconscious accepts an idea, it immediately begins to act upon it. It influences your thoughts, your reactions, your intuition, and your behavior without effort. From this moment forward, you may notice subtle changes. New ideas may arise. Conversations may shift. Opportunities may present themselves in unexpected ways. These are not coincidences. They are the natural outworking of a new inner assumption. You have planted a seed, and the law of growth is now in motion. The most important thing to understand is that you do not need to force this. You do not need to constantly think about money or worry about results. The subconscious does its best work when you trust and let go. Just as a seed grows best when left undisturbed, this prayer works best when followed by calm confidence. There may be moments when old thoughts try to return. That is normal. When they do, gently return to the feeling of certainty you have now. Remind yourself that a new decision has been made. A new pattern has been established, and patterns, once accepted, are far stronger than passing thoughts. This is how wealth becomes stable in your life, not through highs and lows, not through constant effort, but through inner conviction. When you know that abundance is normal for you, it becomes normal. Life simply rearranges itself to match your expectation. Remember, the infinite does not test you. It responds to you. It mirrors your inner state faithfully. And right now, your inner state has shifted. You are no longer asking if abundance is possible. You are accepting that it is natural. As you move through your day, carry this awareness with you. Let it influence how you speak, how you think, how you feel. You don't need to announce it to anyone. Quiet confidence is enough. The subconscious knows what to do. This is not the end of something. It is the beginning of a new relationship with wealth. A peaceful relationship, a trusting relationship, one where money is a tool, not a burden, a resource, not a source of fear. And finally, know this: the fact that you were here, that you listened, that something resonated deeply within you, is itself a sign of readiness. You are aligned. You are receptive. You are prepared for increase. Abundance is not coming someday. It is unfolding now. And it begins, as it always has, within you, from this moment forward. Allow yourself to move with a quiet certainty that something has changed. Not because you are trying to convince yourself, but because a deeper part of you has already accepted a new truth. When the subconscious mind accepts an idea, it does not argue. It does not delay. It begins arranging reality to match that idea in ways you may not consciously notice at first. You may find yourself responding differently to situations that once triggered fear. Bills that used to cause anxiety may now feel neutral, even temporary. Conversations about money may no longer tighten your chest. These subtle shifts are not small. They are evidence that the inner atmosphere has changed. And when the atmosphere changes, the environment must eventually follow. There is a law that never fails. The outer world reflects the inner assumption. Not immediately, not always dramatically, but inevitably. This is why people who live in abundance often seem calm even before results appear. They are not waiting to believe. They believe, and therefore they wait with peace. You are entering that same state now. One of the greatest misunderstandings about prayer and affirmation is the belief that repetition creates power. It does not. Feeling creates power. Acceptance creates power. A single moment of deep agreement is more effective than 1,000 words spoken without conviction. That is why this prayer works even when spoken once. It is not the quantity of words, it is the quality of consciousness behind them. As the day unfolds, you may notice inspired thoughts entering your mind, ideas that feel natural, practical, and timely. These are not random, they are guidance. Divine intelligence speaks through intuition, nudges, and inner clarity. When the subconscious is aligned with abundance, it becomes receptive to guidance that leads you toward it. Follow those gentle impulses. They will never feel forced. They will feel obvious. A call to make, a skill to develop, a place to be at the right time. Wealth rarely arrives as a sudden miracle from nowhere. It arrives as a sequence of perfectly arranged steps that make sense only in hindsight. Trust this process. There is no need to compare yourself to others. Comparison is a habit of lack consciousness. Your path is unique. Your channels are unique. Your abundance will express itself in ways that fit your life perfectly. The moment you stop watching what others are receiving, you free yourself to receive what is meant for you. If at any time doubt tries to speak, do not fight it. Fighting creates resistance. Simply return to the knowing. Gently remind yourself that a new inner decision has already been made. Doubt loses power when it is not fed with emotion. Wealth flows most easily to a relaxed mind. This is why worry has never created prosperity, and effort alone has never guaranteed security. True financial freedom comes from trust in a law that is greater than circumstance. When you trust the law, you stop interfering with it. There is also something important to understand about gratitude. Gratitude is not pretending everything is perfect. Gratitude is recognizing that the source is unlimited. When you feel grateful now, before results appear, you are declaring faith in advance. And faith in advance is what accelerates manifestation. You do not need to force gratitude. Simply notice what already supports you. Breath, awareness, opportunity, the ability to choose a new belief. Gratitude naturally follows recognition. As this understanding settles into you, allow your body to relax. A relaxed body is a sign of trust. Tension signals fear. Wealth responds to openness, not tension. The more at ease you are internally, the more easily supply moves through your life. You may begin to notice that money finds you through multiple channels instead of just one. This is another sign of alignment. Infinite intelligence never relies on a single pathway. When you are open, abundance expresses itself creatively. Remember this, you do not need to control how wealth comes to you. That is not your job. Your role is to accept that it does. The subconscious mind and divine intelligence handle the details effortlessly. From now on, let your inner dialogue reflect this truth. Speak kindly about money. Speak confidently about your future. Speak as someone who expects good. Words spoken casually still carry power. Choose them with awareness. If you ever repeat this prayer again, do not do it from need. Do it from recognition. Each time you return to these words, let them be a reminder of what you already know to be true. This is how abundance becomes permanent rather than temporary. It becomes part of your identity. And when abundance becomes identity, it no longer comes and goes. It stays. You are not attracting wealth by effort. You are allowing it by alignment. And alignment, once established, continues working long after conscious attention moves elsewhere. Trust this. Rest in this. Live from this. The seed has been planted. The law is active. The outcome is certain. And so it is. There is a quiet confidence that begins to emerge when you truly understand this law. It doesn't announce itself loudly, and it doesn't demand validation from the outside world. It simply settles into you as a calm knowing. You start moving differently. You speak differently. You think differently. And most importantly, you expect differently. This expectation is not forced optimism. It is the natural result of inner alignment. As you move forward, you may notice that situations which once felt overwhelming no longer carry the same emotional weight. Problems that used to feel permanent now feel temporary. This is because your identity has shifted. You are no longer someone trying to get abundance. You are someone who knows abundance flows through them as a natural expression of life. This is the subtle but powerful distinction that changes everything. When abundance becomes part of your self-concept, you stop negotiating with reality. You no longer wonder if good things will happen for you. You assume they will. An assumption, accepted by the subconscious, is one of the most powerful creative forces in existence. The subconscious does not ask for proof. It takes direction. You may begin to notice that you are guided away from habits, conversations, or environments that no longer match this new frequency. This is not loss. This is refinement. When you rise internally, certain things naturally fall away. Make room for that. Space is required for new supply to enter. There may also be moments when abundance shows up in small ways first. Unexpected savings, a timely refund, a new contact, a helpful opportunity. Do not dismiss these moments. They are signs that the flow has begun. The subconscious often builds confidence through evidence before larger manifestations appear. Each small confirmation strengthens belief, and strengthened belief accelerates the process. Understand this clearly: wealth does not come to test you. It comes to express itself through you. There is no moral trial attached to abundance. There is only alignment or misalignment. When you are aligned, the expression is natural. You do not need to carry guilt for wanting more. Desire is not wrong. Desire is the impulse of life seeking greater expression. When desire is aligned with good, it is constructive. It expands not only your life, but the lives of others connected to you. As abundance grows in your experience, you may feel inspired to give, to create, to support, to uplift. This is not obligation. It is overflow. Overflow is the natural state of true wealth. When you operate from overflow, generosity becomes joyful, not draining. And generosity, when it comes from abundance rather than sacrifice, keeps the flow moving freely. The more relaxed you are about money, the more easily it circulates. Tension constricts, trust expands. This is why inner peace and financial flow are deeply connected. A peaceful mind does not block supply, it allows it. If you ever notice impatience arising, gently return to the present moment. Impatience is simply the mind trying to measure progress too soon. The subconscious works outside of linear time. What feels slow on the surface is often precise beneath it. Nothing is late. Nothing is missed. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for this new pattern to take hold. From this point on, let your actions be guided by clarity rather than fear. Do what feels right, not what feels rushed. Abundance responds to inspired action, not frantic effort. Inspired action feels calm, focused, and purposeful. It does not drain you, it energizes you. And remember, you are never required to prove your worth to receive good. Worthiness is inherent. It does not increase with income, and it does not decrease with challenge. You are valuable because you exist. Wealth is simply one of the many ways life expresses appreciation. Allow that appreciation to reach you now. As days pass, you may look back and realize that this moment marked a turning point. Not because everything changed overnight, but because something inside you shifted permanently. And inner shifts are always the true beginning of outer transformation. You no longer question whether abundance is possible for you. You know it is. You no longer wonder if you are allowed to prosper. You accept that you are. You no longer see money as something separate from spirituality. You recognize it as one of the many forms through which infinite intelligence supports life. This understanding brings balance. It brings ease. It brings confidence. Carry this with you. Let it shape your choices. Let it inform your expectations. Let it become the quiet foundation beneath everything you do. The law has been set in motion. The flow has begun. And your role now is simply to live from this truth, allowing abundance to unfold naturally, steadily, and in perfect harmony with your life. It is done. As this awareness deepens within you, something subtle yet powerful begins to stabilize. It is the feeling of safety. Not the kind that depends on numbers in an account or guarantees from the outside world, but the kind that comes from knowing you are supported by an intelligence far greater than circumstance. When this sense of safety becomes part of your inner world, fear loses its authority. And when fear loses authority, abundance flows without resistance. You may start noticing that you are no longer drawn into financial drama the way you once were. News, opinions, and other people's anxieties no longer dictate how you feel about your own future. This is a sign of maturity in consciousness. You are learning to respond from inner truth rather than outer noise. And this inner stability is one of the strongest magnets for lasting wealth. There is a rhythm to abundance that reveals itself only to those who are calm enough to notice it. It is not rushed. It is not chaotic. It unfolds with intelligence and precision. When you align with this rhythm, you stop trying to control outcomes and start cooperating with timing. And timing, when guided by infinite intelligence, is always perfect. You may also notice that your relationship with work begins to change. Work becomes an expression rather than a burden. Creativity flows more freely. Solutions come faster. You find yourself thinking more clearly and acting more decisively. This is not because you are pushing harder, but because your mind is no longer divided between faith and fear. Unity creates efficiency. As your inner agreement with abundance strengthens, your intuition sharpens. You sense which opportunities are aligned and which are distractions. You recognize when to move and when to wait. This discernment protects your energy and directs it toward outcomes that truly serve you. Wealth that comes through alignment brings peace with it. Wealth that comes through force always carries tension. Let yourself trust this discernment. It is the voice of wisdom within you. There may come moments when abundance challenges old identities. You may be tempted to think, this is too good to last, or people like me don't get this lucky. When those thoughts arise, see them for what they are, echoes of an outdated self-image. They do not define you anymore. Gently release them and return to the truth you now carry. You are not lucky. You are aligned. And alignment produces results as reliably as a seed produces a harvest. As you continue living from this state, generosity may arise naturally within you, not because you feel obligated, but because giving feels good when you know there is more than enough. This generosity reinforces abundance consciousness. It affirms trust in the flow, and trust, once established, multiplies. Do not be surprised if people begin responding to you differently. Confidence rooted in inner certainty is felt, not explained. Doors open not because you demand them to, but because your presence carries clarity. Opportunities align not because you chase them, but because you are ready to receive them. This is how influence grows quietly. This is how stability forms. This is how wealth integrates into your life without disrupting your peace. Remember, you are not here to struggle endlessly. Life is not designed to reward suffering. It is designed to respond to alignment. When you are aligned with truth, with gratitude, with trust, and with clear intention, life cooperates. From now on, let your default expectation be good. Not perfect, not unrealistic, but good. Expect support. Expect provision. Expectations shape perception, and perception shapes experience. When challenges arise, as they sometimes will, meet them with calm confidence. Challenges do not cancel abundance. They often redirect it. Stay open. Stay receptive. Stay grounded in the knowing that you are supported. You are learning to live from the inside out. And as you do, wealth becomes a natural extension of your state of being rather than something you must chase. This understanding is not loud. It does not demand attention, but it is powerful. And it continues working quietly in the background, day after day, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in your favor. The shift has occurred. The pattern is set. And your life is now moving in harmony with a law that never fails. Rest in this truth, live from this awareness, and allow abundance to continue unfolding steadily and effortlessly as the natural expression of who you are. Now let everything settle. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to prove, nothing left to force. When a truth is accepted at the deepest level, effort becomes unnecessary. The subconscious has received its instruction, and it is already at work. You do not need to watch it, manage it, or hurry it. Life knows how to respond. From this point forward, allow simplicity to guide you. Simplicity in thought, simplicity in expectation, simplicity in trust. The more uncomplicated your inner world becomes, the more smoothly abundance flows. Complexity belongs to fear. Ease belongs to truth. There will be moments when you realize how far you've come, not just financially, but internally. You will notice how calm your decisions feel, how natural it feels to expect support, how normal it becomes to assume that things will work out. This is the real sign of wealth consciousness taking root. You are no longer trying to make life cooperate. Life is cooperating. Carry this awareness quietly. Let it be your foundation. Let it shape your future without needing constant attention. The most powerful changes are the ones that feel natural once they arrive. Know that what has been set in motion does not reverse. Truth does not fade. Alignment does not expire. Once the mind accepts abundance as normal, it cannot unknow it. The door does not close again. And so you move forward with confidence, not because you are certain of every outcome, but because you are certain of the source. That certainty is enough. It always has been. You are supported. You are guided. You are supplied. And abundance continues to express itself through your life in perfect ways, at perfect times, for your highest good. It is done.